Hi everybody, John Haynes from the International Coaching Academy. I'm going to ask you a question. What makes a good leader? Who in your opinion is a good leader? Have you got any role models that you want to aspire to be a leader? Because leaders now are more in demand than ever before. We need leaders in our schools. We need leaders in our families, parents. We need leaders who are running our country. We need leaders who are running our city. Anywhere you go now, people are looking for leadership. So tell me, do you know anybody who is really acting and thinking like a leader? You see, some people think, well, I've been on a course, or I've been voted into office, or now I'm a teacher, and now I'm a parent. Now I must know the skills of leadership. That's all baloney. To be a leader, leaders are the type of people who've got this burning desire to lead, and they keep on incorporating the fine skills of leadership. So who really are your role models in leadership? I'll tell you now, I've been studying leadership for 30 years now, 30 years, and because the world is changing at a rapid rate, I've seen diabolical leaders. I've seen leaders who've ruined people's lives. I've seen leaders who've wrecked companies, and I think we're all witnessing some of our political leaders are absolutely destroying the country, and certain countries around the world are up in revolt because of poor leadership. So why don't people learn the true skills of leadership? Is it ego, I know it all, or do they close their mind off in new learning? It doesn't make sense anymore. Now, I'm just going to quickly go through some of the real principles that these so-called leaders should be operating and acting with. And I want you to think about yourself, to see all of us inside us. We've all been born to be leaders. We just need somebody to light the fire for us to be leaders. So give yourself a score from 1 to 10, and people you know, your boss, your mum, your dad, your teacher, the head teacher, the person you voted into office, see are they acting in the way true leaders should act. The number one, wow. Have they got ambition? They say leaders have the intense desire to lead, and this intense desire to lead makes them overcome any challenges and setbacks. You see, what separates leaders from non-leaders is true leaders have a vision. Do you know where their family will be in 5 years' time? Do you know where the company's going to be in 5 years' time? Do you know exactly where the business will be? They have this vision, but non-leaders always just fighting every day. Number two, optimistic. True leaders are optimistic. They're always thinking with confidence. It doesn't matter how many setbacks, how many disappointments, we as a team can overcome this. And don't we like to be surrounded by optimistic people where they don't panic or blame or moan when things go wrong? That's the true mantle of leadership. Don't we want our parents to be like that? Our government ministers, our teachers, our boss, don't we want them to, doesn't matter what goes on, how many disappointments, are always optimistic with a big smile on their face. And number three, being resilient. You say true leaders, it's not where you're coming from. All that matters is where you're going. Every time they're down and they're hurt, they bounce down, but they pick themselves up straight away. They're always resilient. They never quit on their goals. They've got this tenacity inside them. They have this courage to always keep going. Don't we like people who are like that? They have difficulties. They get let down. They've had their hearts broken, they've lost money, but they bounce back straight away. That's true leadership. Other leaders, number four, scale from 1 to 10, have empathy. True leadership is about understanding the other person, seeing it through their eyes. Every time that you're going to make a decision, will this affect my family, my school, my society, my business, the people I lead? They understand the four personalities of how a person operates because they've been and learning the skills. Does your role model act like that? And on this incredible mind map of leadership, the next one is integrity. Integrity. Emerson once said, guard your integrity as a sacred thing, because integrity is the true hallmark of leadership. It was Thomas Carlyle once said, you can always tell a big person the way they treat little people. What he really meant, and we know this, is that some people aspire to a leadership, to a management situation, and then they become working class snobs. They don't want to talk to people anymore. They think they're hiring it. But top leaders, they always have time for the little people. They always know where they're coming from. They keep the same sense of manners and honesty, integrity. Now, that's true leadership, but true leaders, when it comes to integrity, they have the integrity to stand up on the side of fairness, even if it's an unpopular choice. They have the integrity to keep the word. They have the integrity of honesty and always keep on the side of the angels. But know what integrity really means? Integrity means have the integrity to look within yourself. And if you're not happy in a situation or a job and a relationship, and it's stopping you performing or your peace of mind, you have the integrity to say, I'm out of this, I've got to stop it. So true leaders stand on the side of fairness. And another one with leadership is courage. Leaders have the courage. Winston Churchill said, courage is the foremost of all the virtues. Having the courage never, never, never to quit. We're in this as a team, we're in this as a country, we've got a vision, we're not going to quit on it. That's why Winston Churchill was voted the greatest ever statesman, because he wouldn't quit when the world was telling him to quit, that the Germans were going to take the UK and they were bombing every night our great cities. It was only Winston Churchill's courage to say, never, never, never give up. He wouldn't give up. Have true leaders got the real courage not to quit? And I think courage comes from the Zulus, those fantastic Zulus. They had the saying. They went to war just with the spears and the shield and the arrows against the guns and the cannons. And the Zulus used to say, if there's a danger in the front and a danger at the back, the best way to react is go forward. Always have the courage to go forward. So don't we want leaders with the courage to go forward all the time? Another great leadership trait is the reality principle. They see the world as it is, not as it wish it to be. Don't we want leaders who just deal with facts? They don't get carried away with the emotions, because facts don't lie. What's the reality of this situation? T.J. Watson, the leader of IBM, said every time there was a situation or a problem, all he used to say is, tell me the facts, please tell me the facts. What's the reality of the situation? Even Oliver Cromwell, way back in all those many years ago, he had one of the famous artists to paint him a portrait of himself, and for nearly 2 years he stood there with his steel helmet on and his shield, and when the time was to come, all the top people throughout the UK, they all come and they stared at his portrait. They were all clapping, and Oliver Cromwell said, "Sir, artist, come here. There's something wrong with my portrait. There's something wrong with my face." And the artist was horrified. "But sir, it's perfect. That's the way I've seen you." He said, "Sir." And Oliver Cromwell used to have big warts on his face. And Oliver Cromwell said to the artist, "Artist, where's my wart?" He said, "But sir, they made you look ugly and I thought you wouldn't want them on your face." He said, "How dare you, sir? I want my portrait, warts and all." That's where that saying comes from. Always see the reality of the situation. Scale from 1 to 10. Other leaders totally believe in being independent. What independent means, you know who you are. You know what you believe in. You know what your goals are. You are totally your own person. And you don't get involved with all the trivial back chat and all the political knife stabbing. You're too good for that. You've got your vision, you've got your goals, you know what your values are, and you are totally independent as a person. You don't get easily swayed this way and that way. And don't we like leaders who are like that? They will tell the truth at all costs. And the next one is emotional maturity. Now, emotional maturity is the big one. It doesn't matter how angry they are or how upset, they never show their emotions. When somebody's verbally attacking them, a true leader will keep their inner thoughts to themselves, and they say, I'm a leader. I don't have the luxury to be angry or ask for self-pity. And emotionally, they're strong inside. A scale from 1 to 10. Do you know many leaders who act that way? Or do you see them getting involved with politics and backstabbing and self-pity? And finishing off, team, is this. True leaders are always developing themselves. And I believe, as the director of the International Coaching Academy, this is where this all goes wrong. People stop learning. They switch off their mind for new education. They think, I've arrived now. I don't have to go on any more courses or learn and be mentored. I don't want to go to that John Haynes Coaching Academy. After all, I'm a leader, and all the skills and the knowledge they've got right now will not take them no further. But true leaders never stop learning. They're always developing. They're always learning. Even Richard Branson, he has mentors going in to see him every week. He's always developing himself. And other leaders turn around and say, I don't have the time to do all that. They don't have the time, and that's why the family's in a mess, the country's in a mess, and possibly the business is going down still. So if you're going to be an inspirational leader, you keep learning. Pick up a book, read it 1 hour a day, go on courses, listen to CDs in your cars, always asking other people for knowledge. Keep learning non-stop like an Olympic champion. They want to win the gold medal in 4 years' time. What do? They train hard every day. True leaders train hard with self-development every day. And the very last one on leadership is the big one, is having the foresight. Having the foresight to stand back and say, which of the trends are the trends for me or the trends against me? Predicting what's going to go on. If I make this decision, what's the worst possible thing that can happen? If I don't make this decision, what's the best possible thing that can happen? And they analyse, but they've always got this thought side. They're always thinking the correct way to go forward. See, I believe leadership is the master skill today. So analyse your scores, give yourself a score from 1 to 10, then start observing all the people, our political leaders, the people in management, the people who are running the business. Analyse yourself. Are you really acting like a true leader? Because if you're acting like a true leader, people will be inspired to follow you, vote for you, work hard for you. They'll always trust you and love you as a mum and dad. But if you're not operating some of these skills we've gone through, you're just going to become Mr. and Mrs. Average. That's not for you. This is the best time to be in leadership. The world's crying out for leadership. But leadership is in us all. Leaders are never born. They're self-made, like the top leaders throughout the world today. So I wish you luck on this. You can see I'm passionate about it. If you want to come on our journey, on our courses, and learn the true skills of leadership like thousands of other entrepreneurs and business people and politicians throughout the world, please get in touch with us. My email is success@john-haynes.co.uk. I wish you luck in this world of leadership. Maybe one day you too can inspire millions of people.